Everybody thinks that hunger happens in Africa and Haiti and Cuba and here and there and everywhere, but it's right here and it's big. We have a major hunger crisis in the Verde Valley. And people are in crisis right now, and I see it in the faces of the people that come to the food bank. You see the look of desperation and despair and hopelessness. A lot of people don't even know this is happening because it's a kind of a silent disease. People don't come up to you and tell you that they're hungry. Unfortunately, there's some preconceived ideas about hunger. I've had to battle the thought that people that go to food banks are there out of choice or out of making the wrong choices.
There's a stigma as far as I'm concerned when you live in subsidized housing or you have food stamps or you get whatever kind of help, and it's almost like people look down on you. I'm not uneducated. I've worked off and on most of my life. I've had my own homes, so for me to come back to an apartment at this stage of my life is not something I'm thrilled with. I feel humiliated. At the end of the month, I might have $20 left for food. We now go to food banks once a week, which supplements the amount of food stamps I get, which isn't very much. And that has just recently been cut due to government funding. I have no idea how I'm going to do this.
These are just people in hard times, and they're hungry, and hunger hurts. We are seeing more families. We have an increase in elderly. 1 in every 3 children in the Verde Valley go to bed hungry at night. I hate that statistic.
There is not enough food, and so what we do is we try to make it stretch. Oatmeal, we always have oatmeal, and that always goes a long way for food and being healthy. I just might not eat if I know there's not going to be enough, but I can go without eating. I don't want the kids to go without eating.
I've had so many families say they've been looking and looking and looking for work and cannot get it. They've applied everywhere and it seems to be no progress.
I was making $30 an hour. I had to cut that in half. Last time he's called me and asked me for work was about 2.5 months ago. And a lot of time lately, because we aren't able to pay for things, I work for everything.
Honestly, I just want to sit down and cry sometimes about it.
I am co-founder of the Hearts for the Hungry and Homeless organization that began about 5 years ago. That's still going strong. We got up to feeding 120 people in a night, and I was doing that out of my kitchen, and it got way too big for me. Well, in 2010, I met Greg and Debbie Reller in Cornville, and I found that they were doing a like ministry. I found that our hearts were very kindred, so I asked them if we could join forces. Thanks to Cornucopia Community Advocates and Verde Food Council, we got a grant for $10,000 to begin the Cornville Food Bank. Cornville really needs a food bank because it's so isolated. We have a few little markets. People here have to drive at least 10 miles to shop at a supermarket. The cost of gas is an issue. We have many families that can't even get here. Sometimes we even drive food boxes out to them because we understand the critical need. Every week, trucks roll in with food from St. Mary's Food Bank, which is based in Phoenix. A lot of that supply is called TFAP, T-E-F-A-P, and that's the Emergency Food Assistance Program. That's a government program. It addresses the extreme poverty of families and individuals.
We stick pretty close, absolutely close, to our TFAB, our issue from them. Okay, this would be from 1 to 3 people, and that would be per month.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We will add from donations from the community. They can come in any day of the week and get bread and produce from us.
Food banks obtain unsaleable food from local stores and bakeries and restaurants. It's not uneatable, but it's unsaleable. We're most usually lacking is protein, because protein costs us money. We can buy available food from St. Mary's Food Bank for 19 cents a pound. There are times when we've had to turn people away because of lack of protein. It's difficult to get a steady supply of healthy food. Sometimes I've been in our food bank and we didn't have any produce at all. Zero, none. If we were financially secure, that would probably never happen, but we're not, and we are relying on donations, and sometimes those donations are at a minimum.
Explore how can we become a closer network and work together.
That right now we've got a partnership that involves well over a dozen different organizations. It allows us to support each other when the going gets rough. And each time somebody needs something, we step up.
That's just our heart. We need to share and move this stuff.
From the beginning, I didn't want it to be about any one person or any one church or any one ministry or anything. I wanted this to be really a spiritual outreach, and I called it Unity in the Community. We did a fantastic Thanksgiving together, and I think we had 10 churches involved in that. We served about 400 people there. The community supports us generously over the holidays, and then the poor and the hungry often are forgotten the rest of the year. We were so lucky enough to get a grant on behalf of Verde Food Council and Cornucopia this summer, and that incorporated local growers, farmers, providing food to local food banks, and we had the most beautiful produce this summer because of it. We willingly and lovingly treat every person that comes through that door as if they're our family that are hungry. To end hunger in the Verde Valley. Truly, what food banks need most is money. $5 means 20 pounds of protein, meals for 5 people, a backpack of weekend food for a hungry child, gas to get food for 50 people. If you had it in your heart to pledge a certain amount of money each month, we could better provide healthy food to those in need on a regular basis. We also need volunteers. We need people to drive, to pick up and drop off food, packing emergency food boxes, gardening, and educating.
That working together we cannot stand alone. It's not over yet, baby. I mean, there are a lot of people still needing a lot of help.
We hope that one day we'll never be needed again. That's what we hope for.